Welcome. You're watching Flat Earth Science. Why is the truth about the flat Earth being hidden? Look out your window or stand upon a mountain peak and observe the world as it presents itself to your senses. There is a profound tension between the reality you can touch, smell, and see, and the mathematical models you have been taught to trust since childhood. You feel it, a quiet, persistent friction between the stillness of the ground beneath your feet and the frantic spinning motion you are told is happening right now. For many, this tension is a mere curiosity, a passing thought to be smoothed over by the logic of textbooks. But for you, it is a persistent question that refuses to be silenced. You have begun to notice the gaps between what is said and what is shown, and that realization can be an isolating experience. To all our flat Earth believers out there, before we begin, please write in the comments what convinces you of your views. How did you come to this conclusion? And how do other people view you? We want to hear your story because, believe me, everyone will be interested to hear it. You are not alone. Why would a truth so simple, so intuitively obvious, be kept behind a veil of complex equations and distant, unreachable imagery? If the Earth were truly as they describe, would the truth not be the most liberating realization in human history? We are taught to look away from our own eyes and toward the authority of the screen, often forgetting that our senses were our first and most honest guides. This inquiry is not about being right or wrong. It's about the courage to reconcile the world we live in with the world we are told exists. It is a journey into the heart of why a truth so fundamental might be obscured, and what that obscuration says about our place in the cosmos. This message is not intended for everyone. It is not for those who find comfort in the familiar or who find the weight of questioning too heavy to carry. There are many who will hear these words and find them irrelevant, or perhaps even jarring, because they are content with the shadows cast by the consensus. But if you are the type of person who feels a restless pull toward the horizon, if you are someone who values the integrity of your own observation over the convenience of a hand-me-down truth, then this is for you. We are not here to argue or to mock. We are here to examine the architecture of our reality. By the end of this exploration, you will not just have a new perspective. You will have a different way of seeing the very ground you stand upon. Before we begin, give this a like if you are seeking mindfulness. Then, share your thoughts in the comments. Why is the truth about the flat Earth being hidden? The invisible wall between what we see and what we are told. Look out your window. What do your eyes tell you? They tell you of a plane that stretches infinitely toward the horizon, a stable floor beneath your feet, and a sun that traverses the heavens like a golden lamp. Yet, there is a tension in the modern soul, a dissonance between the tactile reality of our senses and the mathematical abstractions we are taught to worship. We are living behind an invisible wall, a barrier not of stone or steel, but of sophisticated indoctrination. This wall is built from the tension between what we observe and what we are told. We are told the world is a spinning, wobbling sphere, hurtling through a vacuum at impossible speeds, yet we feel nothing but the stillness of a settled earth. We are told the oceans cling to a curve, yet the water always finds its level. This is the great modern paradox. We are trained to distrust our God-given senses in favor of a complex theoretical model that can never be personally verified. Why is this truth so carefully guarded? Why is the veil so thick? To understand the wall, we must understand the motive. If you can convince a man that he is a microscopic accident on a speck of dust, lost in a meaningless void, you have achieved the ultimate victory of control. If the Earth is a fixed, stationary foundation, a magnificent, stationary stage set by the Creator for the drama of life, then man is central, he is significant, he is the crown of creation. But if the Earth is a spinning ball, then the stage is unstable and the architect is distant. The invisible wall exists to keep us from looking up and realizing that the heavens declare the glory of the Maker. It is easier to manage a population that feels small, insignificant, and adrift than one that knows they are standing on a firm, designed foundation. The institutions of our age, the gatekeepers of academia, and the architects of globalist policy benefit from this perceived insignificance. They have replaced the empirical with the theoretical. We are taught to believe the math even when it contradicts the eyes. This is the subtle abuse of the intellect, the idea that science is a collection of equations that supersede the reality of the physical world. They use the complexity of their models to make the truth seem inaccessible to the common man. They create a barrier where the layman is told, "You cannot understand the curvature, so trust our calculations instead." This is the great deception, turning the study of the world into a priesthood where only the experts can interpret the truth. When we look at the history of our understanding, from the ancient sailors who navigated by the fixed stars to the great builders of old, we see a different relationship with the earth. The ancients understood the stability of the world because they lived in harmony with its observable truths. Today, we live in a state of constant, subtle chaos because we are taught to live in a world that is constantly moving. We are kept in a state of perpetual motion to keep us from settling into the truth. To break through this wall, we must have the courage to trust the evidence of our eyes and the clarity of the Word. We must realize that the truth isn't hidden because it is complex, but because it is simple, and a simple truth is much harder to manipulate than a complicated lie. Why would they hide a truth so simple? Why would they hide a truth so simple? It is a question that cuts through the sophisticated layers of modern academia like a blade through silk. If the earth were truly a spinning, wobbling sphere hurtling through an infinite vacuum, wouldn't the sheer majesty of that motion be evident to every man who looks at the horizon? We are told to trust the mathematics of men, yet our senses tell us the earth is the firm, unmoving foundation laid by the Creator. If the truth is as plain as the sun rising in the east, why the elaborate veil? Why the need for expensive satellites, complex calculations, and the constant, noisy indoctrination of our children? The answer lies not in the stars, but in the shadows of human pride and the mechanisms of control. To hide a truth so simple requires a massive, coordinated effort of the intellect, but more importantly, it requires the suppression of the soul. If you can convince a man that he is a cosmic accident, a microscopic speck of dust on a spinning ball, you have achieved the ultimate victory of the ego. You have stripped him of his divine significance. When we are told we are orbiting a sun in a godless void, we are told that we are the masters of our own fate, drifting without a center. This is the great deception. They hide the stationary, enclosed beauty of our world to foster a sense of cosmic insignolation. If we realized we lived in a fixed, purposeful design, we would realize we are the centerpiece of a grand, intentional drama. They hide the truth because a man who knows his place is a man who is difficult to manage. If you believe the earth is a stable, fixed plane, you recognize that there is a lawgiver, a fixed standard of truth that does not shift with political whims. But if you believe the truth is relative, a product of shifting gravitational theories and shifting human perspectives, you become pliable. The institutions of power, the globalists, the architects of the modern economic machine, the keepers of the great educational monoliths, thrive on a populace that is perpetually searching for a footing they can never find. They want us looking up at the stars in a state of confusion, so that we don't look down at the ground to see the handiwork of the Almighty. Consider the cost of this deception. We spend billions on space exploration, building massive technological monuments to a journey that often feels like a hollow pursuit of the impossible. We have built an entire global economy and a massive educational infrastructure around the premise of a globe, creating a cycle of consumption where we must constantly buy new tools to prove what we should already know. It is a tragic waste of human potential. Instead of learning to live in harmony with the fixed boundaries of our world, we are trained to be restless, always reaching for the next horizon, the next satellite, the next technological fix for a loneliness we cannot name. They hide the truth to maintain the hierarchy of the experts. If the truth were simple, the priest and the peasant could stand on the same ground and agree on the reality of the world. But by making truth a complex, specialized secret held by the elite, they create a divide. They create a world where we are dependent on the scientific class to tell us what is real. They want to replace the clear, biblical window of the heavens with a dark, foggy lens of sophisticated doubt. They hide the simple truth to protect the complex lie, because the lie is where their power resides. They want us to be wanderers in a void when we were meant to be stewards of a kingdom. The horizon that never curves no matter how high you go. Consider the ascent. As we climb higher, as the atmosphere thins and the vantage point shifts from the terrestrial to the celestial, we are told that we should witness a gradual, sweeping curvature, a great bending of the world that would eventually wrap around us. We are taught to expect a sphere that shrinks our perspective, but look through the lens of reality. Whether you are standing upon the peak of a great mountain or suspended in the pressurized cabin of a high-altitude jet, the horizon does not descend to meet your eye, nor does it curve away in a grand arc. It rises perfectly level, meeting the observer at the eye level, always. It remains a flat, unbroken line, a perfect circle of perspective that maintains its geometry regardless of the altitude. If we were living on a ball, the higher we rose, the more we would have to look down to find the horizon. Yet, the geometry of our eyes tells a different story, a story of a stationary, level plane that refuses to conform to the mathematical lies of the modernists. Why then is this glaring, visual truth so effectively suppressed? Why is the simplest observation of the human eye treated as a delusion to be corrected by textbooks? The answer lies not in the stars, but in the subtle, systematic architecture of modern thought. To hide the truth of a fixed, level Earth, one must first hide the truth of the Creator. If the Earth is a stable, stationary plane, it implies a design, a firmament, a boundary, and a foundation laid by a master architect. If we are the center of a magnificent, purposeful creation, then we are not merely cosmic accidents drifting in a vacuum. This realization is dangerous to the modernists because it grants us a position of importance. If the Earth is a fixed stage, then our lives have an inherent meaning, a moral weight, and a divine origin. By convincing you that you are spinning on a speck of dust, they strip you of your dignity and your connection to the architect. The globalists of academia and the architects of our modern education systems rely on the curvature myth to maintain a sense of chaos and insignificance. They want us to believe we are lost in an infinite, expanding void where nothing is stable. It is a brilliant, if tragic, psychological maneuver. By obscuring the flat horizon, they obscure the truth of our place in the cosmos. They use sophisticated mathematics, theories built on the assumption of a globe, to create a circular logic that is impossible to escape without questioning the very tools of our learning. They want us to trust the math more than our own eyes, to trust the grainy, processed images from space more than the physical reality we touch and see. This is the great addiction of the modern era, the addiction to the abstract over the concrete. When we look at the horizon, we are looking at the boundary of our immediate world. To deny its flatness is to deny the evidence of our senses. The truth is being hidden because the truth would demand a shift in our entire worldview. It would require us to look up to the heavens with reverence, rather than looking out into a void with existential dread. The truth is being hidden to maintain a system where man is the master of his own making, rather than a steward of a divine creation. But the horizon does not lie. It remains constant, a silent witness to the truth that the earth is the stable, immovable foundation we were always meant to inhabit. How can a massive lie be maintained for so long? If we accept that the horizon is a level plain and the heavens are a magnificent stationary dome, we are immediately confronted by a question that rattles the very foundations of modern intellect. How can such a colossal deception be sustained? How can a lie of this magnitude, spanning continents and oceans, remain intact for generations without crumbling under the weight of its own contradictions? To understand this, we must first look at the mechanism of the human mind. A lie is not merely a statement, it's a structure. For a lie to hold, it must be reinforced by the very tools we use to perceive reality. We are taught to trust the mathematics of the globe, but we are rarely taught to question the premises of those equations. We are given instruments that assume a spinning ball, and then told that their results prove the ball. It is a circular prison, a self-referential loop that keeps the prisoner satisfied with the bars of his cell. But why the effort? Why the massive expenditure of resources to maintain a falsehood that contradicts the very senses God gave us? The answer lies in the necessity of the lie. To maintain a globalist model, one must first convince the individual that he is an insignificant speck of dust, a cosmic accident lost in an infinite cold vacuum. If you are a mere accident, you are easily managed. If you are the center of a designed, purposeful creation, you are a king with a divine mandate. The lie is maintained because the truth is dangerous to those who wish to rule. By making the world seem vast and impersonal, they make the individual feel small, transient, and ultimately dependent. If you are lost in an endless void, you will cling to the hands that promise you direction. Furthermore, the lie is maintained through the institutionalization of knowledge. We have built a massive global infrastructure of education that functions as a grand filtering system. From the early years of schooling, the curriculum is designed to bypass the eyes and target the intellect. We are taught to believe what we are told, rather than what we observe. The experts become the high priests of a modern mythology, and to question them is to be labeled a heretic or a fool. This is not merely about science. It is about the control of the narrative. By controlling the maps, they control the perception of the territory. They have partitioned the world into political entities, using the illusion of a globe to justify the boundaries of their empires. Yet, we see the cracks in the facade. The lie survives because it is expensive to dismantle. It requires the dismantling of every textbook, every satellite-based myth, and every geopolitical structure built upon the globe model. It is easier to maintain the lie through the sheer momentum of tradition. We are told that science demands this view, but true science is the observation of the truth, not the defense of a dogma. The massive lie is maintained by the collective inertia of humanity, the fear of being wrong, and the comfort of the crowd. But the truth does not require our belief to be true. The sun rises and sets with precision. The firmament holds its place, and the earth remains unmoved. The lie is a heavy burden, but the truth is as light as the air we breathe. We must decide if we will continue to carry the weight of their deception, or if we will finally stand on the solid, unmoving ground of reality. The strange silence of the globalist textbooks. If you were to walk into a university lecture hall today, or flip through the glossy pages of a modern science textbook, you would find a singular, unwavering story. It is a story of a spinning, orbiting, lonely speck of dust, lost in an infinite vacuum. But have you ever noticed the curious absence of dissent? Have you ever wondered why, in the supposed pursuit of objective truth, the pedagogical machines of our world remain so strangely silent about the observable reality of our stationary, plane-like Earth? The textbooks do not just present a model. They act as a gatekeeper, a silent sentinel, standing between the student and the physical evidence of their own senses. They teach us to trust the mathematical abstraction over the very ground we stand upon, effectively training us to distrust our eyes in favor of a theoretical authority. This silence is not an accident of history. It is a masterpiece of curriculum design. When we examine the history of science, we see a systematic narrowing of the horizon. In the mid-20th century, as the era of space exploration began to ramp up, the textbooks underwent a subtle but profound shift. They stopped teaching us how to observe the world and started teaching us how to calculate our distance from it. They replaced the study of the firmament with the study of the void. This isn't just about geometry. It is about the architecture of the human mind. By convincing a child that they are an accidental byproduct of cosmic chance, living on a spinning ball, the textbooks achieve something profound. They instill a sense of insignificance. If you are a tiny moving speck, you are a master of nothing. You are a wanderer without a center. The silence of the textbook is most deafening when it comes to the ancient wisdom that once understood the stability of the earth. For millennia, the greatest minds, those who walked in harmony with the Creator's design, understood the earth to be a fixed, immovable foundation. Yet, modern education treats these ancient observations as mere superstition to be discarded. They do not explain why they discarded them. They simply replace the old truth with a new, more complex lie. They ignore the physics of a stable plane, because a stable plane implies a design, and a design implies a designer. The globalist curriculum prefers the chaos of the heliocentric model because it provides a perfect cover for the modern economic engine. If the Earth is a spinning ball, then we can be told we are moving so fast that we need constant technological fixes to stay stable. We are kept in a state of constant, restless motion, much like the supposed physics of our world. This educational silence serves a specific purpose. It manages the human spirit. By making the truth complex and the lie scientific, the textbooks create a class of people who are too intimidated by the math to question the reality. We are taught to look at the complex equations of orbital mechanics to explain why we don't feel the Earth moving, rather than simply acknowledging the truth: the Earth is stationary. This is a clever form of intellectualism, used to mask a lack of physical reality. It creates a dependency on the experts to interpret the world for us. If we were to realize that the Earth is a fixed, bounded plane, a stage beautifully set for human life, the need for the globalist priesthood would vanish. We would no longer need a centralized authority to tell us where we are, because we would know exactly where we stand. The silence of the textbooks is the sound of a wall being built around the human soul, keeping us from looking up and seeing the truth of our magnificent, stationary home. Why do the maps always look the same? Wait, why do the maps always look the same? If we are to truly understand why the veil is kept so tightly drawn over our eyes, we must stop looking at the stars for a moment and start looking at the paper on our desks. We are told that we live in an age of unprecedented discovery, yet there is a curious, almost haunting consistency to the tools of our navigation. If the truth of our stationary, enclosed plane were so easily accessible to the human eye, why do the maps we use to teach our children, to guide our pilots, and to define our geopolitics always look fundamentally the same? Why, through centuries of supposed advancement, has the projection of our world remained locked in the same geometric constraints? Consider the maps you have seen since you were a child. They are projections, mathematical distortions, designed to translate a curved surface onto a flat plane. But there is a subtle, psychological trick at play here. By presenting a globe-centric map, we are conditioned to believe in a world of endless, orbiting motion where everything is a spinning speck in a void. This is the great distraction. The maps are designed to make the edges feel unreachable and the center feel insignificant. If the maps were to reflect the true, stationary layout of the Earth, the fixed foundation laid by the Creator, the very concept of globalism would lose its grip on the human soul. We would realize that we are not drifting on a cosmic accident, but are placed within a deliberate, structured design. The reason the maps remain so consistent is that they serve a purpose far greater than mere navigation. They serve the maintenance of a specific worldview. If the maps were to change to reflect the true topography, the vast, bounded reality of the Earth, the entire economic and political structure of the modern world might crumble. We are taught to believe in a world of finite resources and infinite expansion. Yet the maps we use to represent this world are the very things that obscure the true boundaries of our reality. They create a seamless, deceptive transition from one pole to another, masking the reality of the great ice rim that holds our oceans in place. Think of the sailors and the explorers of the mid-1800s. They were the masters of the sea, yet they were often working within the same mathematical frameworks we use today. Why has the transition from the old maps to the new ones never resulted in a total overhaul of our perspective? It is because the maps are not just tools. There are the boundaries of our mental prison. They provide a false sense of completeness. When we look at a map where the continents are stretched and warped to fit a sphere, we are being trained to accept a world that is mathematically correct, but physically hollow. The consistency of these maps is the ultimate silent argument for the hidden truth. If the truth were being revealed, the maps would evolve to match the truth. Instead, they evolve to make the lie more convincing. They are the perfect tool for the architects of our modern society, those who wish to manage the masses by making them feel small, insignificant, and lost in a vastness that has no end. We must ask ourselves, are we looking at a map of the world, or are we looking at a map designed to keep us from finding our true place in the center of all things? The map is not the territory, but we have been taught to mistake the projection for the creation itself, the motive behind the great cosmic deception. If the Earth is indeed a stationary, bounded plane, as the physical evidence and the ancient wisdom of the faithful suggest, then we must confront the most chilling question of our age: why the veil? Why would the most powerful institutions on Earth conspire to obscure a reality so plain to the senses? To understand the motive behind the great cosmic deception, one must look not at the stars, but at the human heart, specifically at the human heart's relationship with the divine. The deception is not merely a scientific error. It is a sophisticated psychological architecture designed to displace the Creator from the center of his creation. If you can convince a man that he is an accidental speck of dust, spinning aimlessly through an infinite cold vacuum, you have achieved the greatest feat of governance in human history. You have taken a son of the Most High, a being made in the image of God, and reduced him to a cosmic nothingness. In this grand, manufactured illusion, the motive is absolute control through the systematic destruction of human significance. When the truth is hidden, the authority becomes the arbiter of reality. By teaching that we are inhabitants of a spinning ball, the gatekeepers of modern academia create a dependency on complex, often unobservable mathematics to validate what our own eyes tell us is true. This creates a priesthood of experts, a class of people who hold the keys to truth, making the common man feel intellectually inferior and spiritually adrift. If the Earth is a fixed, purposeful stage, designed as a magnificent home for life within a bounded system, then man is the center of a divine drama. But if the Earth is a wandering ball, then man is a mere accident of physics. The deception serves to sever the vertical connection between the Creator and the created, replacing the majesty of the gospel with the cold, impersonal laws of a godless cosmos. This is where the deception meets the practical machinery of modern power. By fostering a sense of cosmic insignificance, the masters of global economics and politics can more easily mold the masses. A man who believes he is a cosmic accident is a man who is easily managed. He has no eternal anchor, no fixed point of reference. He is easily swayed by the shifting winds of political ideology and the false promises of a technological utopia that promises salvation through consumption. The deception provides a sense of false progress, a hollow advancement that keeps us running on a treadmill of meaningless discovery, while the fundamental truths of our existence are ignored. They use the vastness of the supposed universe to make our earthly struggles seem trivial, distracting us from the moral weight of our lives and the urgency of our spiritual reality. We see the tragedy of this in the modern soul, the rising tides of anxiety, the sense of isolation, and the loss of purpose. When you are told you are a temporary accident on a spinning sphere, the stability of the world vanishes. But the motive is not just to make us small, it is to make us manageable. By hiding the truth of our stationary, designed world, they create a world of constant flux where truth is relative and authority is absolute. They want us to look up in confusion so that we do not look down in stewardship or look inward in repentance. The great cosmic deception is the ultimate tool of theocratical subversion. It is the attempt to build a kingdom of men by hiding the architecture of the kingdom of God. To reclaim the truth is not just to solve a geometric puzzle. It is to reclaim our rightful place as the purposeful inhabitants of a perfect, bounded creation. How much does the truth actually cost? If we accept that the truth is being obscured, we must ask the most vital question of all. What is the price of this grand deception? Why would the architects of our modern understanding spend billions of dollars, decades of research, and the very lives of their brightest minds to maintain a lie? To understand the cost, you must first understand what is being traded. They are not merely trading mathematical models or astronomical observations. They are trading the very essence of human identity. The cost of the truth is the total surrender of the current global order. Because the truth is not a mere academic variable, it's a foundational disruption. The cost is measured in the currency of humanism. If the earth is a stationary, fixed plane set firmly within the vastness of a created cosmos, then humanity is no longer an accidental speck of dust spinning through an infinite void. We are no longer a cosmic accident drifting without purpose. If the truth is revealed, the modern man loses his godhood. The current scientific establishment has invested everything into the idea that we are the masters of a chaotic universe, a narrative that justifies our consumption, our greed, and our endless expansion. To admit the truth would be to admit that the current global power structure, the one that uses the vastness of space to make us feel small and insignificant, is built on a hollow foundation. The cost of the truth is the dismantling of a global ego. But there is a more tangible cost, too. There is the cost of the institutions that profit from our disorientation. Think of the massive expenditures in space exploration, the satellites, and the globalized education systems that teach us to look up at a void rather than look around at the magnificent, fixed reality of our surroundings. These institutions have built their authority on the complexity of the globe. They have made themselves the gatekeepers of reality. If the earth is revealed to be the stable, stationary plane described by the ancients and the Holy Scriptures, then the gatekeepers lose their keys. The cost of the truth is the obsolescence of the current authority. They have spent centuries building a labyrinth of mathematics to hide a simple truth, and they will fight to the death to ensure the cost of exiting that labyrinth remains too high for the common man to pay. Furthermore, there is the psychological cost, the cost of losing our place in the great design. We have been sold a vision of a universe so vast that our lives seem meaningless, making us easier to manage, easier to distract with trivialities, and easier to control through fear. If we are the center of a designed, bounded world, then we are accountable to a creator. The current establishment wants us to believe we are the product of chance, for a man who believes he is a cosmic accident is a man who can be easily manipulated. He is a man who seeks salvation in consumerism because he has been told there is no salvation in the stars. The truth costs us our current comfort. It costs us the familiar, comfortable lie that keeps us working, consuming, and looking away from the truth of our origins. It costs us the prestige of the modern scientist, but in exchange, it offers us the dignity of a purposeful existence. It is an expensive truth, but it is the only one worth the cost of our souls. The stillness of our feet, the illusion of the spinning globe versus the stillness of our feet. Consider the sensation of your own existence. You stand upon the earth, and what do you feel? You feel the profound, immovable stillness of the ground beneath your boots. You feel the solidity of the bedrock, the unshaky stability of the foundation. Yet, the modern textbook tells you a lie so grand it defies the very senses God gave you to navigate the world. They claim you are spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, hurtling through a vacuum, wobbling on an axis like a frantic top. They tell you that the atmosphere is whipped by ferocious winds that should, by all logic, strip the very breath from your lungs. Yet the morning air is calm, and the clouds drift with a gentle, predictable grace. Why is there such a violent contradiction between the mathematics of the classroom and the reality of the courtyard? The truth is being hidden because the lie provides a perfect mechanism for control. If you can convince a man that he is a cosmic accident, a microscopic speck of dust lost in an infinite, spinning void, you can make him feel insignificant. If you can make him feel small, he becomes easy to manage. If he is just a random accident of physics, he has no purpose, no architect, and no accountability to a creator. But if the Earth is a fixed, stationary plane, a magnificent stage set by the hand of the Almighty, then he is not an accident. He is a centerpiece. The spinning globe is a tool of modernism used to distance humanity from the divine, replacing the majesty of a designed realm with the cold, mechanical chaos of a spinning ball. Look at the physics of the motion they propose. They speak of centrifugal force, yet we see the stillness of the lakes. They speak of the Earth's rotation, yet the stars, those ancient fixed luminaries, trace their paths in perfect, unchanging circles above us, as they have since the dawn of time. The ancients understood this. They looked up and saw a firmament, a stable canopy. They did not see a spinning ball. They saw a stationary home. Modern science has hijacked the language of observation to manufacture an illusion. They use complex mathematics to mask the simple truth, the earth doeth not move. When the Bible says the earth is established, that it shall not be moved, it is not poetic metaphor. It is a description of the physical reality we inhabit. The deception is maintained because the globe is the cornerstone of a globalized secular priesthood. To admit the truth would be to admit that our modern education has been a grand, systematic redirection of the human soul. It would mean admitting that the massive expenditures on satellite-driven proofs are often nothing more than clever projections, designed to maintain a specific worldview. We are taught to distrust our eyes in favor of a screen. We are told to trust the experts over the evidence of our own senses. This is the great addiction of the modern age, the addiction to being told what is real, so that we may forget how to truly observe. If we accept the stillness of our feet, we reclaim our place in the cosmos. We stop being drifting atoms and start being purposeful inhabitants of a designed world. The truth is hidden because the truth demands reverence. It demands that we acknowledge a sovereign architect. The spinning globe is a mask of chaos. The stationary earth is the foundation of order. When we stop the spinning in our minds, we can finally begin to walk with purpose upon the ground that was made to hold us. Is it a conspiracy or just a massive misunderstanding? If we are to peel back the layers of this great deception, we must first ask a vital question. Is this a calculated, shadowy conspiracy, or is it merely a massive, collective misunderstanding of our reality? To the modern mind, the idea of a grand cover-up feels heavy, almost cumbersome. We are taught to believe that thousands of scientists, pilots, and cartographers are all keeping a silent, perfect secret. But let us look closer at the nature of truth. Is it more likely that a vast web of lies is being spun to hide the stationary, plane-like nature of our world? Or is it possible that we have simply been led down a path of mathematical abstraction that has drifted far from our physical senses? The truth is that the conspiracy is not necessarily a group of men in dark rooms plotting to hide the firmament. Rather, it is a systemic indoctrination. Since the mid-1900s, as the globalist structures of the modern era began to solidify, the education of the masses shifted from the observation of God's handiwork to the worship of the equation. We have been taught to trust the model more than the eye. We are told to trust a calculation of a spinning globe over the undeniable stationary reality of the ground beneath our feet. This is where the misunderstanding lies. It is a misunderstanding of the senses. We have replaced the empirical truth of a fixed, created Earth with a theoretical vacuum, and we call it progress. But why would they hide the truth? If the Earth is a stable, bounded plane, it changes the very nature of human importance. If the world is a stationary stage, designed with purpose and intention, then we are not cosmic accidents floating in an infinite void. We are the center of a magnificent, designed system. The current globalist-driven science serves a specific purpose. It makes us feel small, insignificant, and easily managed. A man who believes he is a speck of dust on a spinning ball is a man who is easy to control. He is a consumer, not a steward. He is a nomad with no fixed home, wandering through a meaningless cosmos. But a man who knows he lives upon a firm, created foundation is a man with a sense of place, a sense of authority, and a sense of divine accountability. The conspiracy is the mechanism of the modern era used to maintain this feeling of insignificance. It is the institutionalization of error. By standardizing a false model through globalized education and satellite-dependent technology, they have created a loop where the lie feeds itself. We use the tools of the lie to prove the lie. They use the very mathematics derived from their false models to validate their observations. This is the tragedy of our modern age. We have become so enamored with the cleverness of our own errors that we have forgotten how to see. Is it a conspiracy? Yes, in the sense that the institutions of power benefit from our confusion. Is it a misunderstanding? Yes, in the sense that we have let our intellects outrun our wisdom. We have mistaken the map for the territory. We have looked at the shadows on the wall and called them the truth. But as we move forward, we must reconcile the two. We must realize that the truth isn't just being hidden. It is being obscured by the very complexity we have built to replace it. It is time to stop trusting the abstraction and start trusting the Creator's design. The realization that changes everything we thought we knew. But why the silence? Why, when the horizon remains a perfect, level line to the eye of the observer, is the truth buried under layers of mathematical abstraction and colored globes? If the truth were simple, if the Earth were the stationary, bounded plane it appears to be, the motive for the veil becomes clear. It is not merely a matter of astronomical error. It is a matter of dominion. When you convince a man that he is a cosmic accident, spinning helplessly through an infinite, godless vacuum. You strip him of his inherent dignity. You take a son of the Creator, a being placed at the center of a purposeful design, and you tell him he is a speck of dust lost in a gale. This is the ultimate psychological heist. By hiding the truth of our fixed position, the architects of modern thought have managed to sever the connection between the Creator and the created. They have replaced the majesty of a bounded, designed firmament with the terrifying, cold chaos of an endless void. The realization that changes everything we thought was new is not just a shift in geography. It is a total shattering of the modern ego. We have been trained to trust the complex equation over the simple observation, the satellite image over the human eye, and the theoretical model over the revealed word. We have become an addiction-driven society, hooked on the progress of a science that often serves to obscure more than it reveals. When the truth is hidden, it is because the truth is a threat to those who profit from our confusion. If we realize that the Earth is a stable, enclosed system, a masterpiece of intentional architecture, the entire structure of modernism would tremble. The false hope of a technological utopia where we can eventually conquer the stars or transcend our biological limits through sheer will would be exposed as a hollow pursuit. We are told we must reach for the heavens to find salvation or meaning, yet we ignore the fact that the heavens were placed above us as a canopy to protect us. This realization forces us to confront the tragedy of our modern era, the divorce of the mind from the soul. We have built a world of immense technological sophistication, GPS, telecommunications, and advanced medicine. Yet we suffer from an unprecedented epidemic of meaninglessness. We use these tools to navigate a world we no longer truly understand, following maps drawn by men who want us to believe we are drifting. The truth is that the globe model is the perfect tool for the modern economist and the global politician. It fosters a sense of infinite expansion and endless consumption. It makes the world feel like a commodity to be managed, rather than a sacred garden to be tended. When we realize the Earth is the stationary stage of a divine drama, we stop looking to the distant, empty stars for our future and start looking at the truth right beneath our feet. We move from being a wandering tribe to being a settled people, reclaimed from the myth of the void and restored to our rightful place in a perfect, purposeful design. Stepping out of the shadow of the globe. To step out of the shadow of the globe is to perform the most daunting act of intellectual courage it is, to realize that the horizon you have been taught to trust is actually a veil. For centuries, we have been conditioned to look at the curvature of the Earth as an immutable truth, a mathematical certainty that anchors our place in the cosmos. But what if this curvature is not a physical reality, but a mental cage? We have been taught to believe that we are clinging to a spinning ball, lost in an infinite vacuum, a mere cosmic accident. This is the great deception, for the globe model was never designed to enlighten. It was designed to diminish. It was crafted to make man feel small, insignificant, and utterly alone. If you are a mere speck on a spinning marble, then you are nothing. And if you are nothing, then you are easy to rule. The truth is being hidden because the spherical model is the ultimate tool of psychological management. When you convince a man that he is an accidental, inhabit standing of a vast, chaotic void, you strip him of his divine dignity. You sever his connection to the Creator and replace it with a cold, mechanical god of physics. The shadow of the globe is the shadow of modernism. It is the darkness that obscures the firmament, the great dome that separates the heavens from the earth, just as it was described in the ancient scrolls. By hiding the truth of our stationary, bounded, and designed world, the architects of modern thought have ensured that we look upward in confusion rather than looking up in worship. They have traded the majesty of the heavens for the complexity of a lie, replacing the clear, observable truth of a fixed earth with the abstract mathematics of a moving one. Why is the truth hidden? Because the truth is liberating. If the earth is the stationary plane described by the ancients and preserved in the Word, then we are not cosmic wanderers. We are the center of a purposeful creation. The globalists and the scientific elite keep us in the shadow, because a man who believes he is at the center of a designed realm is much harder to manipulate than a man who believes he is a transient atom in a void. They use the complexity of their equations to mask the simplicity of the truth. They use the vastness of their expanding universe to make our moral responsibilities feel trivial. They create a false sense of hopelessness to fuel a cycle of consumption and dependence. Stepping out of this shadow means reclaiming your senses. It means trusting the eyes that see a level horizon and the feet that feel a stable ground. It is the transition from being a subject of a globalist myth to being a son or daughter of the king. We must move past the indoctrination of the last few hundred years, a mere blink in the history of the world, to rediscover the wisdom that has been right before us since the beginning. As we emerge from this darkness, we do not find a cold vacuum, but a structured, beautiful, and purposeful reality. We are stepping out of the shadow to stand in the light of the truth that the world is fixed. The heavens are real, and we are exactly where we were meant to be. If you stayed with us until the very end, leave a comment with 888. Let us know what you learned, or if you have any lingering questions. We also invite you to add your own insights and share your thoughts. If this channel has made a difference in your life, take a moment to write how it has helped you. Your words might just reach someone searching for that same clarity right now. Perhaps the most unsettling thing about the truth is not the discovery itself, but the realization of how much we have been asked to ignore in order to accept it. We are taught to trust the mathematics of textbooks over the evidence of our own senses, to believe in a spinning, whirling motion, while our feet feel nothing but perfect stillness. We have been conditioned to look away from the horizon, that level, unwavering line that meets us, no matter how high we climb, and instead look toward a complex, theoretical model that tells us we are but a speck on a moving sphere. If the truth is so simple, so plainly visible to the naked eye, why is it shrouded in such layers of complexity? Why must we be told that our senses are deceiving us when the deception itself is what we are taught to believe? The motive is rarely about the shape of the earth itself. It is about the architecture of human importance. To tell a person they live on a vast, infinite plane is to tell them they are at the center of a grand, stationary design. To tell them they are on a globe is to make them small, a cosmic accident drifting through a void. When you take away the center, you take away the foundation. If the world is a fixed, immovable stage, then we are significant. If the world is a spinning ball, we are lost. By maintaining the illusion of the globe, the structures of authority maintain the illusion that they are the keepers of the gate, the sole interpreters of a reality too complex for the common man to grasp. They control the map, and in doing so, they control the boundaries of our reality. To step out of the shadow of the globe is to undergo a profound shift in perspective. It is not merely a debate of geometry or physics. It is a reclamation of the truth. It is the courage to trust the ground beneath your feet and the level horizon before your eyes, even when the entire world tells you that you are wrong. This path isn't for everyone. It requires a willingness to question the consensus and a strength to stand in the quiet of your own realization. But for those who are willing to look past the textbooks and the screens, the world becomes something much more stable, much more magnificent. The truth doesn't need to be defended. It simply is. It waits for us to stop looking at the maps and start looking at the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please support the channel by giving it a like. Want more? Before you go, if this message has helped you in any way, share it in the comments. Even one sentence. Your words might be the confirmation someone else has been waiting for. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Wish us luck so we can keep making videos. Share the link with a friend who doesn't know about Flat Earth yet, or one who already knows about it. Share the link with your friends and anyone else who might be interested. Join us. See you soon.